Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Pryoxis, man. I'm back with another video. What we're gonna be doing here is looking at the block in EA Sports UFC 3. Now, this is the game where I felt the blocking was at its best compared to UFC 5 and compared to UFC 4. This game, after this game dropped and the cycle went through, UFC 4 came out. The block was basically nerfed, right? Because confirmed by the former lead gameplay developer, Jeff, the game changers are the sole reason why the block was changed when it comes to being nerfed, right? It's Thursday. You already know what time it is. 1v1 me. If y'all looking to make some bread staking on some of the best players in the world, I'm finna put y'all boys on. And hey, we even watched on stream a live match that I staked on. And the person that I put the bread on, they won. Walk with me. And if y'all don't know, man, they got Madden, they got UFC, they got Rocket League, 2K, they got all types of games on here, bro. But most importantly, EA Sports UFC 5. We got 2 different matches right here. 2 different matches played at the same time today. I'm gonna put y'all on. If you don't put your money on my boy Ozzy Kid, you're crazy. Ozzy Kid by destruction, all right? I'm a stake on Ozzy Kid too. But we got who we got? Easy Work GG versus Jamie Bucks. Ooh, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This is a good match. But I'm personally, I gotta go with Easy Work, man. I am sorry. Stake on those guys if you're looking to make some bread. But we can go over to the next tab, man. Discover $16 million. Every time that I do this, the bread go up. Every time that I do this, the bread go up. It's 15 million and 16 finna be $17 million. JP Smooth has surpassed Story. Y'all know I've been bringing up Story consistently, but JP Smooth has passed him. $134,000 made. Also, again, you can watch matches live. Look at a pot of $100 wager. Let's just see what it's like, bro. Let me see what's going on. San Francisco versus Kansas City. Let's watch this play. Trash. Me personally, if I'm Christian McCaffrey, touchdown. But hey, all jokes aside, man, let me talk to y'all real quick. Make sure y'all sign up on 1v1 me, man. Download the app on your tablet or smartphone. I'm going to put the link to that in the description below. When you sign up, make sure to put in promo code Pryoxis. If you don't put it in, I'm going to have a problem with you respectfully, all right? Enjoy the video. They called it too strong. They said it was the quote-unquote Captain American shield block. But to those guys, I say they do have a body and they do have legs you can kick. That's where the problem lies. The problem lies in someone's ability to hold L2 and R2 or left trigger, right trigger and block all leg kicks, block all body shots. Right? That's where the problem lies. Now, let's go ahead and go over the block, right? So we're going to take Dustin Poirier. We're going to have him just block this whole time. And we're going to look at how much health the block takes after a jab cross combination. Right? The block is completely gone. So 4 strikes and the block is basically gone. So let's look at it again. Right? Boom. Now, also, if you don't notice, after the 3rd punch, Dustin Poirier commits to blocking all straight strikes like this. So basically, any round strikes will go through. So like a jab, cross, lead hook. Whoops. Right? The lead hook goes through. But look how much damage Dustin Poirier just took. Let's look at that again. Let's just check. Right? I'd say that damage is not enough, personally. Right? You land on the lead hook through the block, and that's what made it the problem. It's like, yeah, you can get around the block, but you're not doing much damage. But these guys, again, they got the block turned into paper thin type of block where like you're so much in danger. And I understand that you can't block everything, and that's MMA, right? These gloves are very small. You can't block everything. But geez, I mean, you mix all the things in UFC 5 as far as stamina, tracking, and then as brawlic as these top fighters are, it's just way too strong, and the block is not it. Then you factor in counter damage, right? Let's look at this game. We're gonna have Dustin Poirier go jab, cross, and we're gonna counter his cross with a slip cross. That, in my opinion, is where the problem lies. Is that damage a decent amount? Yes. But when it comes to counters, you want to make an overly aggressive opponent respect you. And they respect you after you land something big. And if they don't, and you keep hitting them with counters, chances are they're going to sleep. In real life, right? Now, it will probably take me Lord knows how many slip crosses to actually knock this guy out. Now, because it is a health meter, right? You're not gonna ever get a like rock on a guy early on in the fight with a slip cross like that. Unless obviously his head health is low. Right? That's where you're gonna get a rock. Now, let's talk about something else that they complained about. They complained that the guys would just back up, circle out, Captain American shield block, quote unquote. And in my opinion, I just wasn't. I didn't think that the block was just, oh, it's just OP. It has to be nerfed to the ground like it is in UFC 5. I personally think the block was fine. Attack something else. Right? If you're fighting a guy always fighting on the outside, that means you are controlling the fight. If you're the guy on the front foot, you control the fight. You kind of determine when the interactions happen. Why? Because you're on the front foot. You can walk forward, you can walk backwards, you got a lot of space behind you. Versus this guy, he's so close to the cage that, I mean, he can't really back up. So you engage, you play footsies, walk forward, walk backwards, you know, a little slight jab to the body, get him to think low, go high. It's quite simple. But it's like these guys have made this aspect just like, oh, it's so hard to deal with these type of guys. Well, it's also hard to deal with block breakers, but I don't seem to see the fix being done yet. In UFC 4, it wasn't done. In UFC 5, it hasn't been done either. Now, UFC 5 obviously just released, but they were, after one game, they was quick to put the block in the ground. But in UFC 5, the block is still the same. UFC 4, the game cycle went through, and I'm not 100% sure what was done to the block, but I mean, the block at the end is the same block that's in UFC 5. And it's not it, right? Guys are able to throw a lot of punches. Guys are able to just melt your block. I'm talking round one, your block is cooked. You add that to stamina, it's just a pain for you, bro. Right? So, let's actually jump, right? Let's jump on EA Sports UFC 5 and look at the block. So, I'm going to go here. 1, 1, 2. Right? And he commits to blocking that. And you still can get through that block. And people just complained about it. And I'm just throwing so much with Connor. Alright, whatever. Let's get on UFC 5. Alright, so now we have EA Sports UFC 5. And I'll be honest, the way the colors are and the I don't know what it is, UFC 3 looked better. But anyways, here we go. Have Dustin Poirier block the whole time. Now we're going to do the same combination, right? Jab, jab, cross. Now, last time it took on UFC 4, UFC 3, it took 4 punches to get it down to 0. This game, it takes 3. Right? One more time. Boom. Look at that. Basically 0 block, 3 quick strikes, and your block is cooked. Right? And then you add to the fact how slow the block meter does recover compared to how fast. Like watch this. Watch this. I'm going to throw jab, jab, cross. Well, I'll go jab, cross, just to get the block complete 0 as slow as possible, right? Now watch how quick my stamina recovers compared to his block. Right? Stamina full. Block's now halfway. And now block is full. So in that time, right? I could just keep pressuring you. My block, my stamina straight full, Now this guy has options, right? He does. He has options, right? He can move his head. He can lunge out the way. But most importantly, he can counter. Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's switch sides. Let's switch sides. Alright. That's a glitch. Anyways, we're going to take Dustin Poirier. We're going to have him go jab, cross, right? Actually, no. Jab, jab, cross. Right? Look at that counter. Not much damage at all, right? for a guy throwing a 3-punch combination, really locked in on, you know, throwing punches. And it did 32 damage. It did 41.6% more vulnerability damage. And again, I'm not expecting this to knock this guy out, but because of this counter damage, this guy can play hella aggressive and take minimum type of punishment. So let's say I go, right, that uppercut did the same amount as that slip cross. Let's try it again. Boom, 26% damage, 42% damage. Again, you can see that you're not getting much vulnerability damage after making these guys miss and then trying to make them pay. Right? Boom. That's what, 8 more damage. Actually, 7.5 more damage. So it's like, it doesn't reward this guy for really being defensively sound compared to this guy just simply doing this. Simply walking forward and going jab, jab, cross, and your block is now gone. That's what the game changers basically complained about. Is the jab, the block taking one more punch essentially. Because that's all that happened. The jab could take one more, the block could take one more punch, and it would basically be depleted then. So what do you guys think? This is my theory. I think the best thing to do is buff counter damage, right? I wouldn't be mad if they buff bleed through damage. If you're blocking bleed through damage, I'm okay with that. I think the long-term block needs some love because after one round, with these guys, they throw so much, your block is just cooked. Stamina, recovery, stamina loss, both need massive nerfs. I mean, they did a patch that said that they nerfed it, but it doesn't feel that way, right? And they did do a patch. Well, before the game dropped, they said the jab would do 20% less damage, right? But I mean, it still seems to be very, the risk versus the reward of throwing a jab is what I'm saying, right? That's basically what I'm saying. Throwing a jab it's not a heavy committable strike. It's a quick strike. It's your fastest strike, and it's a lot of people's best strike when it comes to setting up other shots. But in this game, the jab isn't really used to set up other punches. It's used to just get your block low. So you go from playing UFC 5 trying to play like your match to basically they're playing a mini game with your block. You get what I mean? Like, why play logical and play smart and try to pick my shots when I can just play with your block? Right? I don't have to beat you. I just got to beat your block. That's what I'm saying, bro. But hey, I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one here. This was my quick little TED Talk. For anyone to be like, Pryor, you're just complaining, you don't have to watch me, bro. Listen, if you think all I do is complain and all I do is bitch, moan, gripe, you don't have to watch me, brother. I'm making these videos for the people that want to see it and Pride Gang. So you guys can see where I'm coming from when I make my complaints. Simple as that. And if you're saying that all I do is complain and you're still watching my content, find help.